Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, my name is Shabi Zane, and I'm coming on to have a discussion with the chosen seed as well as the 144,000. Some of you may wonder why I say the chosen seed as well as the 144,000. Why I put it that way generally because the 144,000 are very uniquely hand-picked by the Most High, okay? The chosen, you have the chosen and you have the 144,000. Not saying that the 144,000 are not also chosen, but the 144,000 are the preserved and set aside to have a specific mission, a specific assignment, and then you have the chosen seed. So we have one whole body, and the body consists of various parts. So various individuals, various groups of people have different jobs, okay? So you have those who are here to maybe be more of the nurturers. You have those who are here to be more of the authoritative figures. You have those who are here to be the creators. You have those who are here to be the messengers, okay? And so the 144,000, I strongly, I know for a fact, especially based on my assignment, that we are here to be the messengers. We are here to bring in the good news. We are here to, revitalize the body. And like I always like to reference us as being the heart of the body, because we're the ones that's going to pump the blood. We're the ones that's going to bring life back into the body, and then everyone else begins to awaken from there. So it begins with us, okay? So that's why I tend to say that in the beginning, if some of you all was wondering that. But this message is definitely for the chosen seeds as well as the 144,000. So I want to go ahead and get into it. If you find that this message resonates with you, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you all back here again. Okay, so we definitely are in this energy now where we need to just take a deep breath, because that's what I just did. Obviously, we need to just breathe. It's time for us to go with the flow of what is happening around us, okay? I feel like we've been going through a lot of changes, okay? Especially internally. We've been coming into a lot of awareness, a lot of messages, a lot of intuitive messages have been coming in to us from the spiritual realm. And so there's a lot of knowledge here. The crown chakra, y'all see I got on my little crown, thingamajigging today. This is my look, so I know I was here during a certain time period, in terms of past lives or whatever the case may be. But our crown chakras, we are getting all of this information, all of this knowledge that we are receiving. And so you want to make sure that you stay balanced as you're receiving this wisdom, because we are the ones that have the keys to the universe. And we have these keys because we are responsible enough. We use these keys and this knowledge and this wisdom from a space of integrity. There are many people out here throughout history that have gained the wisdom of what they might call occult knowledge, or esoteric wisdom, whatever you might want to call it. This hidden. Occult means hidden, okay? And so they know the secrets about the universe and how things work, about energy and all of these different things. The Most High, He orchestrated things in this way, but it got into the wrong hands, okay? When these people came and they took over, and they harassed our ancestors. They took our knowledge, our wisdom, and they kept it to themselves. They hid it from us, and then they gave us a very watered down version of the truth, okay, which is in the form packaged, all pretty and cute in terms of religion, okay. And so this is why they did not want us reading, when they called themselves being slave masters, when they came over here and took over our land and killed off many of our ancestors, and then decided to take many of us and put us into this captivity. They did not want us reading because they did not want us to begin to reawaken. All we needed was to be put into a space of remembrance. And so they did everything possible to try to keep us asleep. And so we know this. And so now these Akashic records are being reawakened now. Now that we're in the age of Aquarius, we're starting to remember again who we are. We're starting to remember our connection to the universe and how everything, we're seeing the circle of life from the full spectrum, the entire circumference of what this really is, the whole 360-degree view. We see it now. We understand it now. And so we've come into this awareness, and we're moving into a space of leadership. Okay, we're here to become leaders. We're here to guide the rest of the seed towards the new structure that we are building, that we're creating. And so there's definitely a need to purify your vessel, to do what's necessary to try to eat as clean as possible. It's It's something that takes self-discipline, because I myself, I'm still working on that. So I can't say that I'm 100% in alignment. I'm not a vegan, which is something that I, desire to potentially become, in the future. But I do eat as light as possible. I definitely stay away from bottom feeders, pork, um, beef, those types of things. That's not in my diet. I don't drink cow's milk, those types of things. Um, but I try to implement as much green vegetables and fruits as possible. And I'm definitely about to go on to like a water fast so that I can start really cleansing and purifying my vessel. Because you want to constantly be in that energy of detoxifying your vessel, okay? Because anytime you're in a position where you have too much around you or within you, then you're in a position to um, be under attack by these lower level entities, because all they need is the perfect host. These lower level entities feed off of disruption, they feed off of disorder, okay? Even in your mental, if you find that your mind is cluttered with too many thoughts, they feed off of that, and that's where they're able to penetrate and get in and start to manipulate you in those ways on a mental and spiritual level. And so you want to be very cognizant of this at this time. Right now you're in a space of awareness, high awareness, so you definitely want to like I said, continue to remain balanced. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of changes that are happening. Old cycles are closing out for the chosen seed right now. Many of you have walked away from past loved ones. Some of you have also walked away from marriages that was no longer serving you, because you begin to recognize that your spouse was a karmic spouse. If you feel led or guided, go back and look at my previous video. The revolution will not be televised. I'm going to do a part 2 to that video, because I feel like there's more information that needs to be divulged in regards to those things. But you're finding out that many of your spouses, your sisters, your mother, many different people that was in your life that always, they made sure that you knew that you was the black sheep. They made sure that you understood that you was not, that you was separate and that you was different. And for a long time you felt bad about that. And so you became an introvert. You went within, and you was not really the type of person that was able to connect with a lot of people, but it's only because you was being preserved for good reason, so that you would be in alignment for where we stand today. Okay, which is to be a leader. And as a leader, you cannot be a follower. As a leader, you got to stand ahead of the pack. Okay, there's something about you that has to stand out in a space of authority, where you are set aside from the rest, so that you can then guide the sheep into the direction that they need to go. And so the collective have been in this energy of being in this like what some might call a rebellious spirit, where you have broken free. You've broken the chains. You've definitely broken the generational curses off of your life, and those generations that have come from you. But you're here to break the chains. So I feel like you've broken free from a chain. For a long time you felt like you was the outsider. People made you feel as if you was the outsider. And maybe there was a lot of things that you still needed to learn and grow and mature into, so that you can understand how to get on the other side of that blockage, because there was always an obstacle there. But now I feel like you've come into that space where you healed enough to break free. That's where it begins. You have to be able to heal in order to break the chains, because the chains will not be broken from somebody that is a weak vessel, because you're not even strong enough to break those chains. And I'm talking about this from a spiritual aspect, but even on a physical level, understand, as above, so below. If you look at it from a physical aspect, if you are weak, if your body is weakened and you're burdened and you're bruised and you're wounded, then if you have a strong chain that's been around you all of your life, you are not even in a position to have the energy to be able to break that chain, because you still have to heal in order to strengthen yourself enough to be able to pull apart something something that was built to keep you bound. Okay, so you best believe they built it real strong around you through conditioning and through brainwashing and through ostracizing and all of these different things. That chain was thick and it was heavy. You have healed enough to break free from those chains. So that means that you have stepped into your power, and that you know who you are. And in this awareness of yourself allowed you to go within and to heal. And so now you are moving into this position of becoming a leader. You are being given the assignment to boldly and courageously step into your position as a leader. And so you don't want to allow your pride, don't let your pride get in the way, because this assignment that you're being given is going to cause a lot of changes. A lot of changes are going to have to happen in your life. And it might look like you walking away from an old career path that you might have, held on tightly to. Don't get caught up in titles. Don't get caught up in positions. Don't get caught up in time frames. Don't get caught up in how old you are, because time is an illusion. If you go back and look at my other video, um, y'all just gonna have to check my time, my videos, just to see, because I can't remember all of the titles of my videos, but I did have a dream in regards to time becoming more of an illusion now. Once you step outside of the matrix and you're no longer bound to these 9 to 5 positions or these careers, or anything that keeps you in a space where you feel like you have to compartmentalize your time, you're walking away from that, because the new structure that is being built is one that does not allow us to put time in a box. We go with the flow of life. We flow freely through life, okay? And so there's a lot of changes that are happening internally. You're starting to see things differently, and it's making you want to pull away from something, okay? And there is wish fulfillment coming in. There's hope. You have to stay in this energy of faith, and you definitely have to keep your vision on those things that you are intuitively guided to do. Okay, so if you feel like you're guided to become some sort of teacher, a leader in some sort of organization, in terms of leading the youth, leading women, leading men, leading couples, whatever it is you're being guided to do, you want to make sure that you keep your vision in that direction. Don't worry about the what ifs, because when you start putting yourself in that position of thinking about the what ifs, well, if I pull away from this, then it's going to cause this, then you're creating scenarios for yourself that do not exist until you create them, because you are the co-creator. You've been given the keys to the universe. So you don't, please know that at this time, the energy around you is very palpable. The spiritual realm and the physical realm, the veil is very thin now, especially for us, because we see things so much more clearly. And so it's very important for you to stay in that energy of being the creator, and knowing that everything that you think about, that you put your emotions into, that you put your thoughts into repetitively, you are creating that. And so because you know that you are creating with everything that you do, then you want to remain cognizant of the thoughts that you're having, and the visions and the goals and the emotions that you are having, so that you are creating the outcome that your soul desires. Okay, either way, destiny is calling for you to go into a new direction. And so in this energy of being the rebel, you might be feeling kind of isolated. You might be going through some emotions. You might have, you might even be shedding some tears because you had to let go of so many people from your past. But just know that it's all part of your transformation, and everything is getting ready to come into balance. Okay, you're going to have that space of harmony. You're going to get back into that space of feeling, feeling free and going with the flow of life. You're getting back into that space, but it's very important for you to be okay with letting go. Be okay with taking that leap of faith. Be okay with jumping, okay? Because you're safe. You're going to land softly. You will not dash a toe. You are safe in taking this leap of faith forward. There's a lot of people, there's energies around you, there's people around you that you had to walk away from. You better believe they're watching you, and they're hoping that you will not continue down this path that you are guided to go down. Because what's going to happen is many of them are facing karma because of you breaking free. They no longer have the protective barrier that your life brought into their lives, based on the protection that you naturally have from the Most High because of who you are. And so many of them are having to face their grieving. I see a lot of addictions happening for people, alcoholism, all types of things that they're doing to numb themselves out, because now they're having to face all of the things that they did when they was conspiring against you. And so you want to keep in mind that these people, they're still in this energy of wanting to try to bring burdens into your life. And even if they can send it to you energetically to make you feel as if, well, what if this happens or what if that happens? No, you got to cut the cord from these people, even spiritually and energetically. Even just because you walk away from somebody physically doesn't mean that you don't still have an energetic connection or spiritual connection with that person. And so if you had, let's just say if you had to walk away from a spouse, this is someone who you've obviously created a soul tie with, because you've had sexual intercourse with this person. You've had a lot of emotions exchanged with this person, a lot of thoughts and things like that. If you find yourself in that position where you're overthinking those things that you had to walk away from, or that particular spouse that you might have had to walk away from, and you're grieving that situation, or you might even find that you're in the space where you feel good, you feel like you're healing, and then suddenly, bam, you feel like you're going backwards all over again into that emotional space, just know that it's because there's a cord that's still there energetically. And so what you want to do is, knowing that you're in that energy of being the creator of your life, you want to establish that foundation for yourself by speaking those things into existence that you want, and releasing those things that you don't want. So if you know that you're Your mind is going back and you feel like you're being burdened or being pulled back in by that energy from your past, you want to go ahead and take authority over your life and make sure that you establish it beyond the physical realm. Establish your authority beyond the physical realm, because we exist. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are spirits having a human experience, and so we exist on many different layers, many different realms, many different ways of existence is what we have. And so you want to establish your authority. I release this person in all realms, in the dream state, in the awakened state, and on all levels, on all dimensions, known and unknown. Make sure that you establish that. And on those things that you desire to create for yourself, those things that you are led and guided to create for yourself, and for the good, the betterment of humanity, you want to establish those things on all realms as well. Don't just stay on the surface, because if you just manifest on the surface, on the physical plane, then you got all these other layers of existence that these people are still, or these energies are still able to manipulate in. So you want to make sure that you establish your authority on all realms, known and unknown, in sleep and awakened state. And you know why I say in sleep and awakened state? Because if you go back and watch my older video, I was telling you that even in the sleep state, we know that the body has to sleep because it is a physical vessel, so it needs rest in order to rejuvenate itself. So the spirit does not need to sleep because it operates, it's a lighter energy, okay? So it doesn't need to sleep. And so the spirit is allowed to roam when your body is asleep. And so in the spiritual realm, while you are asleep, wherever the spirit decides to go, you have to make sure that you have established your authority there as well, because then if you don't, you have other people who are out here trying to manipulate, okay? Because I told y'all the governmental structure and these people, they're getting ready to start using, they've been doing it, but they're going to try to use it even more so against the chosen seed in terms of dark magic and trying to manipulate in the spiritual realm. So you want to make sure that you establish your authority in spirit and in flesh across all timelines, on all realms and dimensions, known and unknown. Make sure that you establish it and make sure that you know it to be true, okay? And you do this all the time. Make sure that you put this out there all the time, because you take authority over your life. You've been given the keys to the universe because you handle it with integrity, okay? The Most High gave you this authority. We take back our authority, and it's time for us to do that now. All right, because these people, they want to come up against you. They know that you're no longer focused on them. You're no longer putting your energy into them. And the thing is, once you establish your authority in this way on all realms, because this is what I'm feeling here. What I'm picking up is that you've already walked away from these people, places, and things in the physical realm. But there's something about your emotions, something that keeps pulling you back emotionally, when where you're like, why am I feeling like this though? I've gotten myself together. I feel like I'm in a good position. I'm starting to see things more clearly. I'm seeing through the veil. I released these people from my life, but why am I feeling still bogged down? Or why am I still having these crazy dreams? Or why is it that emotionally I tend to waver back and forth and I can't seem to get my footing together? It's only because you have not established your authority on all levels of existence. And so I am giving you this message today. This is what I felt called to bring to you at this time. We have to operate in unison as one verse, okay? So it's time for us to start doing this as a whole, as a collective, okay? Because we have a mission. We are here to be the leaders. We're being established. We're being prepared for something great, okay? And so you want to make sure that you are establishing your authority in all ways, so that these lower level entities don't have any way to penetrate, because they're going to try to come through any crack or crevice that they possibly can, okay? Keep your space clean, keep your body detoxified as often as possible, keep your mind decluttered, okay? And keep yourself away from all people, places, and things that do not serve your vessel's highest good. So I strongly feel like that was the message today. I know for sure that the people that have been trying to come up against you, they are already dealing with their karmic lessons. It's coming in and it's hitting their asses hard. And so what they're hoping for right now is that you will end up in a space where you'll start to feel isolated, you'll start to feel alone, and you'll start to feel pulled or drawn to go back in their direction, because you feel as if you don't have enough people to support you. But this is why I've been guided to be on this platform and to begin putting these types of messages out here, because even if you go back into my old videos, I was more so doing things that were structured around like relationships and things like that. But I'm being now I'm seeing that my purpose is calling me more towards preparing the chosen seed, preparing the 144,000 for a great mission of building a structure. Because now that the powers that were, now that their structure is coming down, we got to be in position to build the new foundation, and it begins within us first. The kingdom has to begin, it has to be built and established within us first. A solid kingdom established within us first, as within, so without. So once it's established within, we'll be able to establish it within the physical realm. And so we're being prepared for this. So this was not going to be a long message. I think that I'm going to go ahead and do another message in regards to the revolution will not be televised, but it is going to be televised now. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a message, a continuation of part 2 for that. So if you would like to see that, I hope that you all join me in watching. Like I said, if you resonate with these messages, please like and subscribe to my channel. I love y'all, and I will talk to you all next time.